Welcome back, folks, once again to another episode of Coach's Corner, powered to you by Central Hydraulics, distributor of Boss plows and equipment for over 26 years. I'm your host, Paul Vold. This week we catch up with assistant coach for your Granite City Lumberjacks, Eric Moser, and coach, a weekend sweep, but two different very styles of games, we'll certainly say, against the Minnesota Wilderness. Winning on Friday by a score of 3-2 in the shootout, and it was, if you really put down to it, first period, you get 2 goals in the last 2 minutes of the first period. Then they ultimately end up tying it. Looking back at that style of the game that ended up being, what did you really see there from the production from the team in that first contest?
Yeah, I mean, when we go back and look at it, I think we played maybe 10 solid minutes of hockey over the span of 60 minutes, which isn't what we want our group to do and get accustomed to doing, especially down the stretch here leading into playoffs. Obviously, you scored 2 goals in the last 2 minutes of the first period. And then I think we just kind of hit the coast button from there on out. Started to pick it up a little bit later in the third period, trying to go for that game-leading goal. Ultimately didn't happen, got through overtime just fine, and finally won a shootout. So, I mean, at the end of the day, the way that you look at it, you want to win games in regulation, but the way that things have been going for our group right now, and shootouts haven't been our friend, so to get a shootout win was huge for our group.
Yeah, I'm sure it was a little bit frustrating, of course, through regulation just to get over that 2-goal hump at that point. But you look at how the West Division has been so competitive throughout the season. I mean, you look at the standings coming into the weekend. Obviously, Granite City in first place, Wilderness in the bottom of the division. But you can't really take off any night in this division. And the Wilderness kind of really put that to a point on the Friday night contest.
Yeah, I mean, obviously they're under new head coach Chris Ratzloff. Used to be at Rochester, so we know him well. Was former NA coach before coming over to the Wilderness team. So we know the type of coach he is and what team he brings to the table. And his teams are well coached and they do the simple stuff well. So it was nice to see Ratty again and see what kind of group they had. And like you said, Friday was kind of a different story than Saturday's game, but 4 points on the weekend.
Yeah, of course, transitioning into the game on Saturday, kind of similar start. You get 2 goals up in that first period, ultimately leading to of course, 9-2 victory. Last 2 periods, a little bit different, but also see a little bit more, a little bit of a faster start, and of course, a little bit more physicality in that second contest too.
Yeah, a couple lineup changes for our group going into that Saturday game. A little bit more meat and potatoes going in the lineup, which you look at prior games. That's kind of what's given us success, is just playing simple and being hard to play against. I thought we did a really good job of sticking to system stuff and just kind of owning the lines. And when you own the lines, it helps you play a little bit more offense. Through the first 40, I think it was 4-2 us, and then we were able to pop home 5 unanswered in the third period to lead to that 9-2 win. But our guys responded well from that shootout victory, and kind of just came out with a purpose, with a pulse, and was able to get it done in regulation. So.
We'd be remiss as well if we didn't talk about the goaltending over the weekend. Nick Hansen on Friday with Trent Peterson on Saturday too. Have really kind of picked up the pace here. Of course, the last few weeks with both of those guys seeing a lot of time, trading off on Friday, Saturday, Sunday, vice versa as well. It's been really nice to see, especially in a lot of these tight contests, them answering the bell for the team too.
Yeah, it's kind of a 1A, 1B situation with those two right now. They've done a great job of doing their job in between the pipes there. I thought it was a solid overall performance with our goalies this weekend. I think Saturday we held them to less than 20 shots. I think it was somewhere around that 15, 17 shot mark, which ultimately helps our goalies out, right? I mean, it's tough on the save percentage at times. Right. Goalies are, they're pretty adamant about their stats and whatnot, but I mean, you hold a team to less than 20 shots in a game. I like your chances on winning, especially when you outshoot them your opponent 2-1. So I think we did a better job for PD on Saturday night, keeping the puck out of our own zone. But hats off to both of them on having a good weekend.
Of course, Granite City will be back out on the road coming up here this weekend down to Mason City. Looking at this week, of course, special teams did have a few bright spots in the weekend that was. Got a shorthanded goal on Saturday with some action on the power play too. But looking at this week of practice leading up, what do you see as some things to address here for this week?
I mean, the biggest thing for us is getting guys healthy. You know, kind of got that little cold sickness bug going around. Guys are banged up a little bit, so taking this week to try and make sure guys are healthy. But yeah, it'll be another good weekend of travel. We've got some new bodies in here, so a weekend on the road with the guys forced to kind of be around each other won't hurt our group. Hopefully bring them a little bit closer. But yeah, just excited for another good weekend, another good test for our group, and hopefully secure another 4 points.
Yeah, Lumberjacks take to the road this weekend. Friday, Saturday, they'll be down in Mason City. Be sure to check out game times as well on na3hl.com. Of course, with assistant coach Eric Moser this week, I'm your host, Paul Vold. Coach's Corner will be back again here after a quick break. Stick around. Of course, Coach's Corner, powered to you by Central Hydraulics. Welcome back to Coach's Corner here, powered to you by Central Hydraulics, Boss Plow distributor, and also for equipments for over 26 years. I'm your host, Paul Vold. We got our player segment here this week, and we've got a couple of catalysts from the weekend that was a weekend sweep of the Minnesota Wilderness. We've got number 3, Reece Gronseth, and number 9, Dom Thomas, joining us here. Gentlemen, thanks so much for joining us here this week.
Thanks for having us.
Of course, we like to start off with our players here introducing themselves. Reece, we'll start with you. Just introduce yourself and how long you've been playing hockey.
I'm Reece Gronseth. I've been playing hockey since 3 years old.
I'm Dominic Thomas from Hermantown, Minnesota, and I've been playing hockey since I could pretty much walk, so about 2, 3, 4 years old, around there too.
Of course, another thing we like to mention with some players that have been newer to the team as well. Dom's no stranger to the squad, of course, in his time. But what's been the journey here to get to Granite City? I know you were on the team a couple years ago, Dom, but what led to you coming back here with the Lumberjacks?
Yeah, so it was my last year, and I was up in Canada, and I just really wasn't having the best time for my last year, and I kind of wanted to come back over the border and try to win something in this league. So I reached out to a couple of guys reached out to me on the team, and kind of made things happen, and now we're here. So hopefully we get a Fraser Cup here now at the end of this year.
Reece, how about you? Why'd you choose Granite City?
I mean, I'm from St. Cloud, so I grew up coming to Lumberjacks games for a while now. So, I mean, it was a pretty simple decision for me, at least, and there's not much to it.
Absolutely. Of course, a weekend sweep for your Lumberjacks defeating the Minnesota Wilderness. Dom, let's really start with the game on Friday, a 3-2 win in the shootout. Get a couple goals in that first period, but it was a very kind of weirdly tight contest against them. Ultimately, you end up scoring the game winner in the shootout. Looking back at that contest as a whole, how'd you feel about, of course, coming back into Lumberjacks lineup, but also getting the win for the team too?
Yeah, first game back, I was obviously a little bit nervous. Didn't play the best game, but having score that shootout winner kind of got the pressure off my back. But it does feel good to come back and be in this lineup. That something that we got very serious here, and I think that we got a team that can bring it all the way.
How about, of course, the performance in net? Nick Hansen on that Friday night win, too. That sure had to relieve a little bit of pressure there, knowing that you've got a strong goaltender in net, too.
For sure, yeah, he's a winner, for sure. Very nice kid, so it's nice having someone back there that we can trust night in and night out.
Reece, we'll talk about the game on Saturday. Of course, a 9-2 victory. A little bit of a difference, at least in the latter parts of the game, but again, getting up 2-0 in that contest. What was really a big difference from the game on Friday to Saturday for the squad?
I think the physicality, first off. I mean, I think we played as a team. We communicated. I mean, kind of got into it during the third period. We started off not too hot. D-zone was sloppy. Third period, we just kind of figured it out then.
Of course, both of you guys put up some major points in that win as well, putting up 4 points apiece too. But of course, you also get a strong performance out of your goaltender, Skeeter, in net there with Trent Peterson. How'd you feel about his performance too?
Oh, great. Skinner's a great guy also. Having a guy like Dom said, having a guy back there that you can trust is always a great feeling.
Yeah, of course, now we get a little bit of more time here leading up to another week of practice with also another weekend heading back out on the road here for an extended stretch. Guys go down to Mason City here this weekend. Reece, from the defensive side, what do you see here as some things that to look at for the week of practice ahead?
Working on our D-zone, make sure we communicate in the D-zone. I think that's been a big issue we've had, communication, and we just got to stick with our guys there in the D-zone.
Dom, how do you feel about, of course, now getting a little bit more time in practice, get refamiliar with a few guys, and just get comfortable with the lines, too? How do you feel with this week of practice here?
Yeah, I feel really good, really positive about this weekend. Getting comfortable with my line mates, kind of finding each other and stuff, and I think we're in for a big weekend against Mason City this weekend.
Yeah, of course, you can check out game times for the matchups Friday, Saturday for your Lumberjacks at Mason City by going to n83hl.com. We've got Reece Gronseth, Dom Thomas here this week on Coach's Corner. Hard parts out of the way. Now we can loosen up a little bit, guys, here with some rapid fire. You guys ready?
Oh, yeah.
All right, Dom, we'll start off here with you. What's the pregame routine for you? What gets you really going here for game day?
Usually I kind of wake up, nice little shower, do some stretches in my room, and kind of just mentally think about the game and just get ready for the night.
Reece, how about you? What's the pregame routine for you?
I'm a very simple human, so I wake up, shower, watch TV, head to the rink.
I like that. All right, pregame meal. Do you guys like to keep it kind of light there? What kind of you get something to eat beforehand?
It's either Chipotle or noodles for me.
Okay, Dom, how about you?
I just like to cook up some nice chicken and rice back at the billet house.
All right, now we got a good question here. Do you guys prefer the red or the white sweater here with Granite City?
I love the white. The white's for sure. I feel like that's a classic.
Yeah.
I'm going to have to agree with Dom there. I like the white.
All right. There was another sport you guys weren't playing besides junior hockey right now. What would be another sport you'd like to have an extended career in?
Oh, basketball for sure.
Interesting. Okay. How about you, Dom?
I'm a little bit of a baller, but I got to go lacrosse for sure.
I like that. All right. Good one here for you guys. Scooters Coffee, a great sponsor for us here. What's your go-to Scooters order?
Just a nice classic vanilla latte. I love that for sure.
All right. Reece, how about you?
I'd have to go with the Caramel-licious.
Nice. Do you prefer blended or do you prefer it hot? What's the way for you?
Blended for sure.
I like that. Respectable. I'm a big fan of that too. Now we get to throw some teammates under the bus here if you guys are ready.
Perfect.
Who talks the most on the team, whether it's on the ice, in the locker room, who's just always yapping?
Oh, me for sure. Yeah, that's it.
Dom, who have you noticed here that talks a lot for the squad?
I got to go Caleb Alderson for sure.
I like that. Who's got the best and worst style on the team?
Best style, I got to go Easton Portner.
Okay.
Worst style, Gavin Forrest.
Oh, all right. How about Reece?
Worst style, Siebes, Cole. 100%. Best style, ooh. Let me go with Nick Hansen.
Yeah, I like that. All right, here's a good question I've probably been meaning to ask for a long time. Who's got the worst tape job on the team? You look at their stick and just ponder a lot of things that's going on in their life.
Oh, Colton Johnson, horrible.
Okay, all right. Dom, who's got the worst tape job?
I got to go B-Will. I don't know what he's been rocking these last couple practices, but that's pretty horrible.
All right. Now, we mentioned pregame routine for you guys, but who have you guys seen maybe lurking around a locker room that's got kind of a weird kind of go get ready routine for them? We're going to exclude goalies here because they're in their own little world all by themselves. Who's got the kind of oddest thing that they do for a pregame routine?
I got to go Caleb Alderson, I think, again. I feel like I always see him in the shower or something back there. He loves to take a shower before the game.
Okay. All right, Reece, who's got the oddest pregame routine?
I would have to say Giram. I don't know. He's just a strange guy, so that's all I got to say for that.
All right, last one for you guys here. Personal goals here. What do you guys want to get out of your time this year with Granite City?
I just want to build my character up. I mean, meeting new people, getting myself out there, get brought into new stuff.
Dom, how about you? What do you want to get out of this year at Granite City?
I think the goal is to win another Fraser Cup here. So that's what we're kind of aiming for here at the last stretch of the season.
Of course, we appreciate the time, gentlemen. Dom Thomas, Reece Gronseth join us here on Coach's Corner this week. Again, your Lumberjacks back out on the road Friday, Saturday at Mason City. Game times are available on na3hl.com. Be sure to check out the games on NATV as well. Coach's Corner this week. I'm your host, Paul Vold. Coach's Corner is powered to you by Central Hydraulics, proud distributor of Boss plows and equipment for over 26 years. We'll check in with you guys next week.